make the anointing flow so strong through worship?
Well, worship is different than thanksgiving and praise. Thanksgiving is for because of God's goodness, praise is because of God's greatness. But worship is what brings the voice of God, is what reveals God's plan for a service. So when you worship, you hear God. We cannot hear the voice of God when we thank Him, because we really thank Him for His goodness. We cannot hear God's voice when we praise Him, because that's for His greatness. It says in Psalm 48, great is the Lord and greatly to be praised. Well, anyways, worship is the only way the voice of God is heard.
Wow.
Because Psalm 95 says, worship the Lord, and then right after it says, today if you hear His voice.
This is how you get the instruction that
Yeah.
activates the anointing
Good
through
man.
worship.
That's all. Worship activates the voice of God, or you hear the voice of God in it, and then you know which way to go. That's what happens. Ask me again. What do you
So
want?
the moment you start worshiping, instruction comes on what to do in a particular service, and that's when the anointing starts
Absolutely.
flowing.
And the anointing in worship, there is a moment when the blessed presence of God manifests. And when the presence of God manifests, at that moment, the anointing really is revealed. And when the anointing is revealed, you siphon it out of the presence. And you siphon it by surrender. So think about, you start with worship. Worship brings the reality of God's presence. He manifests. When the Lord manifests, you surrender and it comes right out. Yeah! Thank you.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Amen.
And when you, sorry about that, guys. We're just very excited right now. We're an excited group.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
This was an awesome service.
Amazing.
Describe it, guys. Come on, talk to me about it.
Goodness, the healing anointing is flowing like a river.
Pat and Pam Clifton here, my friends.
Yes, the pastor taught on the 7 streams of the anointing that operate in his life as he.
And every life, your life too,
Yes.
yeah.
And I do have a question. Are there other streams of anointing? Do we all have the same streams
Well-
of anointing?
Yes, there are other streams. I didn't get into them. I didn't think that the people can handle every stream. You know, it's a mysterious adventure. The anointing, yes, there are 7 major streams. But you gotta understand that every stream has streams.
Oh,
Wow.
Every stream has many streams.
Wow. A different way it flows.
Absolutely, a different
My
way
God.
of teaching. Think about how many streams of healing are there.
Wow. There is healing by faith. There is healing
You got
by
it,
presence,
you got
there
it,
is healing
you
by-
got it, brother.
Amen.
There are many streams of
That's
healing.
powerful.
Well, like, okay, Elijah, one stream. Elisha, one stream.
Wow.
There's certain ministries. Think about Catherine, oral, miracles, but a different form, flow. The flow was different. Oral Roberts didn't need a whole lot of music.
Yeah, man.
He just laid his hands.
Yeah.
That's all. Like Shambach, like A.A. Allen. That's a whole different stream than Catherine. Catherine's stream is Amy Semple McPherson.
Through presence.
Yeah, you
It's
got
healing
it.
through presence, right?
You're pulling it out of me, brother.
Bring it on.
It's the difference between Elijah and Elisha.
Oh,
One
wow.
needs a minstrel, one did not.
Wow.
Amen.
yeah.
Can you repeat that?
The anointing of Elisha
Yes.
needed a minstrel.
Wow.
He didn't hear God till somebody played music.
Wow.
So he operated in an atmosphere.
Wow.
While Elijah didn't need any of that.
Wow.
He just sat on the rock.
Yeah.
No need for an atmosphere there.
Wow.
Or music. He said, if I be a man of God.
Did it work?
Amen. Amen.
Wow.
And there are other healing streams.
Wow. By the word. Yeah,
By the
you
word.
have Kenneth Hagin, which is different.
Jesus. Speak the word. That's one stream.
Yes.
Laying hands.
Yes.
Another stream.
Yes.
Worship. All that. This difference. There's different streams of teachings too.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I don't want to get into that tonight. I would have messed their heads. Please go ahead.
This is powerful. This is
No, because you've got deeper revelations of the Word. You can teach, and you're giving them milk. You can teach, and you go to something heavier than skim milk, whole milk. Or you can teach, and you have bread, or teach and meat, and teach. You move from one thing to another. Example, think about butter. When I wash my steps with butter, that's a deep teaching. And now, here is the problem though. Here's one. A lot of Bible teachers have small crowds because they don't know how to discern the listeners.
wow. Wow. So
No,
they're
it's a
trying
fact.
to enforce something people
They're
cannot
trying to feed people plate by plate who can only handle it spoon by spoon.
Wow.
It depends on the size of spoon. I used to go to a Bible study on Tuesday nights in Canada. The richest teachings were given by this man every Tuesday. But he only had 50 people sitting there.
Wow.
Because many could not handle a too heavy diet, very heavy in fat, whatever you want to call it. Yeah? They couldn't handle it.
Wow.
He could have had probably 10,000 people
Wow.
had he discerned his crowds.
Like Jesus said, there are things you cannot carry, and then he shared them only with the apostles in
Yeah,
private.
it's like this. It's like this. Let's suppose I was that guy. He lost his crowds because he began with a big crowd. He ended up with only 50 people staying with him because his diet was too heavy. Had he done what I think I would do, is you lower your temperature, you lower your diet. You see where is your crowd, what are they able to handle at this point, and you start to feed them
Little by little.
little by little,
Wow.
and bring them up to your level.
Wow. Okay.
I told somebody very close to me, he says, I'm struggling with my crowd, the people are not coming. I said, yeah, because you are trying to feed them a diet that only you can handle.
Wow.
You gotta come down to the level and pick them up to yours. You cannot feed people
Yes.
something that only you've been accustomed to.
And this is so good for pastors right now and leaders who are listening.
Yes.
This is so important for
But
the
but
churches.
there are churches today that have taken their diet down to dangerous levels, where they don't want to give the people
No nutrition.
no nutrition at all. It's the other extreme.
Wow.
So they have crowds, but there's no substance, no nutrition, and the devil can get those people very fast. So on one hand, you got people who are getting a diet that only the pastor can eat and feed upon, and very few of them can handle what he's eating, so the rest just leave him and go out. Then you got the guy who's got 10,000, 20,000 people in his church, because all he gives them
Sunday
is
school.
one,
Wow.
Sunday school stuff, and sometimes worse than Sunday school stuff. And that crowd is in danger. So find your level. That's what I had to learn in OCC.
Wow.
Find I would test people's appetite and then prepare the meal. And that is another, and think about the many streams of the word.
Wow.
Okay, so I teach this one, but that stream has other streams. What kind of food are you giving? And when are you giving it? And when are you giving it to them?
No, I got this.
So sometimes, like I'm studying, okay, now I'm sitting today, guys. I'm dreaming today about me preaching. And I got into some heavy stuff in my dreams.
Wow.
But I was literally preaching in my dreams.
Wow.
But I have news for you. I'm not ready. Well, let me say it like this.
Wow.
The people aren't ready to get this stuff.
Wow.
You say why? Because I am on a higher plateau.
Yeah.
I'm on a different stream.
Yes.
You say, well, will you ever teach it? I pray that I will. Not everything that God gives you can be imparted to the sheep. You've got to wait for the right time.
And sometimes
Some
it
of them,
shouldn't.
huh?
Sometimes it shouldn't. Something
Some-
shouldn't.
You got it. Not all revelations are for preaching. Some is just for your own life.
Yeah.